Okay, Bloomberg and Yahoo Finance had a really good article about a guy that just really, he went from boom to bust. And it's probably one of the biggest boom to bust that I've ever read about before. And he did this actually dealing with Tesla stock. But this guy was a day trader, and he started off with a real small amount of money. And I'm talking about became had almost $400 million after 3 years. I mean, and he's only in his early 20s. It's incredible how this guy did. But I mean, this is what can happen if you're a day trader, but you can also lose it all real quick too. But this day trader says he made $306 million on Tesla, and then he lost it all. I mean, it's just that quick. But what happened was Christopher Devot, he was a carpenter from Vancouver Island, Canada, and he says that he started out like, you know, a lot of day traders, and after work he would read about trading on forums, and his favorite thing to trade was options on Tesla Inc. stock. Now, you know how volatile Tesla's been ever since it went public, but and Tesla for years didn't even make any money, and then even when it started making money, the valuations were through the roof. So it was very, very volatile. People, you know, getting in, getting out. But you know, this was an article, and he was talking about here that he went on to say that what has to be one of the hottest hot streaks in the history of financial markets, according to a legal filing at the end of 2019, this guy's account with a brokerage division at Royal Bank of Canada was worth 88,000 Canadian dollars. Within 2 years, he had turned that into 415 million Canadian dollars, which is roughly 306 million US he was talking about. Now, some people would have cashed out, but Devot didn't. And when Tesla stock fell in 2022, he lost it all. According to a lawsuit he filed this week against RBC Dominion Securities. He also filed it against RBC Wealth Management and accounting firm Grant Thornton, LLP. Now, the filing which is initial notice of claim that doesn't require evidence to be provided at the stage, didn't include brokerage statements or other proof of his gains or losses. Now, Devot now claims that the advice that he received, geared mainly toward minimizing taxes, was negligent and failed to take into account his level of financial sophistication, and his investment strategy involved loans from a Royal Bank margin account. And I'll tell you something, quick story. John Templeton, one of the best investors that ever lived, he relinquished his U.S. citizenship back in the 1960s. He's the one that started the Templeton Group, which got bought out by Franklin Templeton Group. And he said, you know, when he relinquished his U.S. citizenship, he could make so many good decisions that were not based on tax reasons when to buy or sell. And he could take that totally out of the picture. And this is what happened with this guy here. And I mean, this is a consideration of why you should be looking for a country that does not tax income outside the country, and also, you know, either it's a territorial tax system, or it's a pure tax haven status type country, or it's a non-dom type system where you can buy and sell and not be taxed unless you bring it back in the country if it's a non-dom program. Now, RBC considered Mr. Devot to be a sophisticated investor, according to the complaint. While this was true in respect of his strategies for put and call options in the trading of Tesla shares, RBC failed to appreciate that Mr. Devot's knowledge of investing more generally was very limited. And this is what he's basically, and of course, they don't have all the facts out yet because they're just out yet because they're in the discovery process. But now Royal Bank had no immediate comment Friday and hasn't yet filed a defense in the case. Now, Devot's lawyer, Sean Hearn, declined to comment beyond the complaint. Grant Thornton said it doesn't comment on matters before the court. And then they went on to say that the only statement we can provide at this time is that we're committed to providing quality services to all of our clients in accordance with professional standards, Grant Thornton said it in an email statement. And then Devot was good at trading Tesla shares and options, they said in the lawsuit, but he admitted to that, but he said that he was in his 20s struggling with significant respiratory and other health issues and had limited understanding of financial issues. When he first went to Royal Bank in July 2020, he wanted a loan so he could move out of his rental apartment and buy a home. And at this time, his portfolio was worth about 26 million Canadian dollars. It was rising rapidly, according to a notice of civil claim filed with the Supreme Court of British Columbia in Vancouver. Now, he was soon referred to a coach and coordinator within the bank who then connected him with an accountant at Grant Thornton, according to the complaint. The assembled team of professionals advised him to incorporate a company, roll all of his securities into it, and conduct trades within the company with a strategy of accumulating as many Tesla shares as possible and holding them for as long as possible, Devot claims in the lawsuit. Now, the idea was to convince Canadian tax authorities to view it as an investment holding company, not an active trading business, because he had paid lower taxes that way, according to the complaint. Now, this led to an extreme concentration in Tesla that came with corresponding risk, Devot claims. When the stock soared in 2021, it paid off. His portfolio surged, listen to this, 415 million Canadian dollars from Canadian 186 million in the spread of about 8 months that year, according to the lawsuit before this collapsing. Now, worth noting that the Tesla shares suffered a series of declines and periodic rallies throughout 2022, and Devot tried to recoup some of the losses by borrowing 20 million Canadian dollars from the corporation and then using it as to make shorter-term trades in his personal account. That strategy failed, and when Tesla shares saw even steeper declines in October 2022, Devot's corporation had to sell its Tesla holdings to repay loans from a margin account it held with Royal Bank, according to the suit. Now, Devot and his corporation tried to mitigate these losses, but in time, their securities holdings were worth nothing. He talked about in the complaint. And this is how quick you can lose it when you're dealing with options. But if not for the inadequate advice Devot received, he and his corporation would have preserved a substantial portion of their wealth and implemented financial planning that would have not resulted in the loss of his entire net worth. Now, Devot and his corporation are seeking general damages for breach of contract and negligence. His claim also alleges that Royal Bank's recommendations to make $25.5 million in charitable donations further eroded a significant chunk of the wealth. Sounds like this guy just made all kinds of, he took a huge chance, but he ended up losing a bunch. Folks, if you really want to make a lot of money, what I advise you to do is solve, first of all, your tax issues and stuff. Go to a country that doesn't have any taxes on offshore income, whether it's a territorial tax system, pure tax haven status, or a non-dom program. There are loads of countries in the world you can do this, but you're going to have to break your tax ties. If you're from a country like Canada, you might have to pay an exit tax. If you're a U.S. citizen, U.S. resident, you're going to have to move out of the U.S. and relinquish your U.S. citizenship if you want to get around all taxes. Folks, also, we don't monetize this channel. If you can do us a big favor and hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here, and also give us a thumbs up if you like our video. And also, if you like this video, pass it around to your friends. It will help in the algorithm, and we'll get a lot more people viewing our channel. And if you want to know more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.